Welcome back, guys. So today we'll be starting with a very important topic, very short. I'll finish it very soon. Okay, that is the function of hypothalamus. Though it is short, it has got lots and lots of important questions. Even recently for us, the university exam in physiology, okay, they have asked 2 questions in function of hypothalamus. Okay, so please read it thoroughly. That is the function of hypothalamus. Right. Now let's start with function of hypothalamus. Why is it so important? Why the function of hypothalamus is so important and has got lots and lots of functions in hypothalamus? What makes this function of hypothalamus a lot? What is that important source? Is that in hypothalamus we have got lots and lots of nucleus. That makes each and every nucleus in the hypothalamus has got its own function. That's it. Okay. For example, we have dorsomedial hypothalamic nucleus, lateral hypothalamic area, we have lateral tuberoid nucleus, arcuate nucleus, periventricular nucleus, ventromedial hypothalamic nucleus, supraoptic nucleus. So these a lot of nucleus in the hypothalamus makes its own functions in hypothalamus, right? That we are going to discuss in detail. Now, the first most important function I am going to discuss is that in any human being, what is the very important work? That work we do thrice a day. Some people may do twice or once, no problem, but most of the people do thrice a day. What is that important work? And very favorite to us. What is that? In Sunday means if we eat biryani, it makes us full. That is eating, right? So first important topic is how hypothalamus helps us in regulation of food intake. Regulation of food intake, right? So this regulation of food intake, first let me describe as when there is increase in food intake, increase in the food intake, right? Increase in food intake, it's a function. I told you any function of hypothalamus governed by nucleus. So what nucleus is governing this? Increase in food intake, the most important nucleus is the lateral nucleus of hypothalamus. Lateral nucleus of hypothalamus is the cause for increase in food intake. This increase in food intake, we call this as feeding center. That's it. Feeding center. If there is any lesion, in the lateral nucleus of hypothalamus, what really happens? Its function will be opposite. Increase in food intake is the function of lateral nucleus of hypothalamus, right? So if lateral nucleus of hypothalamus is lesioned, there is decrease in the food intake. That's it. There is decrease in the food intake. Next, very important, when there is decreased food intake, that's it. When there is decreased food intake, what happens? It is governed by which nucleus? That is ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus. Ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus, decreased food intake, we call this as satiety center. Satiety center, right? Satiety center. When there is any lesion in this nucleus, what will happen? When there is any lesion in ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus, what will happen? Yes, increased food intake. So we saw about 2 important nucleus, that is lateral nucleus of hypothalamus, ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus. Now, who is stimulating them? There is one nucleus, head of the office, that is your arcuate nucleus. Okay, let us see the function of arcuate nucleus. Listen carefully. So arcuate nucleus is stimulating your, who is this? Stimulating your lateral nucleus of hypothalamus and also your ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus. Now, what makes this arcuate nucleus to stimulate your lateral nucleus of hypothalamus? That's the question. It is all because of a substance called neuropeptide Y. Okay, and also it is because of AGRP, that is agouti gene related peptide. Agouti gene related peptide, that is AGRP. Okay, agouti gene related peptide. Because of these substances makes the arcuate nucleus to stimulate your lateral nucleus of hypothalamus. Now, what makes this arcuate nucleus to stimulate the ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus? Yes, that is we have a substance called alpha MSH, that is alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone. Apart from this, we also have CART, that is cocaine amphetamine regulated transcript. Cocaine amphetamine regulated transcript, and because of these reasons it makes the arcuate nucleus to stimulate the ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus. Now, this lateral nucleus of hypothalamus, because of this stimulation there is increased food intake. There is increased food intake, and it's all because of your feeding center. This is very important. This is what they ask in our examination. So, because of this lateral nucleus of hypothalamus and all these substances, there is increased food intake and there is stimulation of your feeding center, right? And same way, because of these substances, your ventromedial nucleus of hypothalamus is stimulated by your arcuate nucleus, and because of this reason there is satiety. That's it, right? There is satiety. Okay, now we saw about regulation of the food. Now, after having a lot of food like biryani, chicken 65 and all, what we will do? Any idea? After having a lot of food, what we will do? We will sleep. So now we will be seeing about the next important function, that is regulation of sleep. Not only sleep, also wakefulness. Very important, right? Now, if you ask me where is sleep center in hypothalamus, the answer is very simple. It is all because of your preoptic nucleus. Okay, the sleep center is in preoptic nucleus. To be very specific, in hypothalamus, that is all because of VLPON. Tell me, ventral lateral preoptic nucleus. I want to be very specific in hypothalamus, then ventrolateral preoptic nucleus. This is very important. Regulation of sleep. Next, we have to get up, wakefulness. Okay, so for wakefulness, where is the center? For wakefulness, where is the center? This is mainly regulated by your lateral nucleus. This wakefulness, it is regulated by your lateral nucleus. How? Is there any neurotransmitter for this? Yes, we discussed already. That is, the neurotransmitter for this is orexin. Right? Orexin. And this neurotransmitter, this is your first one. For wakefulness, we have two important nucleus to be learned. One is lateral nucleus, is producing a neurotransmitter called orexin. We discussed already. It is also involved in the functioning of wakefulness. Another important nucleus for wakefulness will be your posterior hypothalamus. So this posterior hypothalamus is also releasing a neurotransmitter, a very well known neurotransmitter for all who is watching this video is histamine. Is histamine, right? Histamine helps us in arousal. This is important. Fine, regulation of sleep and wakefulness we saw. So first we discuss about the regulation of food, then regulation of sleep and wakefulness. Okay, we slept, we got up too. Now what is your work? Yes, we have to study, right? For study you need a very good memory, right? Memory in a sense, someone should be there to convert short-term memory to long-term memory. Who is that? Yes, not only for this, a basic role in memory means I get, that is your third function, right? I get this role, a simple role in memory. That is your hypothalamus. Memory in a sense, hypothalamus, right? So role in memory, basic role for understanding, for a basic memory to be stored, then it is hypothalamus. Now in role in memory, if you see, what is the question? What is the nucleus? Yes. So the nucleus, more than a nucleus, we have some bodies present in the hypothalamus, that is called as mammillary bodies. To be very specific, they are called as Pappas circuit. They are called as Pappas circuit. So we have mammillary bodies, that is called as Pappas circuit. Now, when a person is there with chronic alcoholism, I am just linking this with biochemistry. I have already taught you this thing. A chronic alcoholism, this mammillary bodies will be degenerated. In which condition? Chronic alcoholism. This mammillary bodies will be degenerated. And because of this reason, because of degeneration of mammillary bodies, okay, you get a lot of symptoms. Like, listen to the symptom and tell me what disease is this. Like ataxia, like a confusion, memory loss. See, memory loss. This memory loss is due to this reason. Okay, now you tell me, with this simple symptoms, what is the disease name? We have learned in biochemistry. That is very good. That is Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome is a syndrome, that is multiple diseases involved in it, and memory loss reason, if you see, is a chronic alcoholism. Because of this reason, the mammillary bodies will be degenerated. So I have to understand, correlate and study, right? Fine. So role in memory is over. Okay, fine. So we saw about 3 important functions, right? Food. Okay. Next important is sleep. Next is memory. Next, very important, you are keeping on studying. Okay, your memory is good. Okay, fine. Next, in college or in school or any job, they are keeping repetitive tests, 5 tests in a week. They are keeping. What will happen to you? You become very angry. Why are they keeping like this test? You always disturbing, right? Now, while this aggressive behavior may also come, right? Aggressive behavior. Though you are aggressive, you have to write the test, no other go. But that aggressive behavior in hypothalamus is mainly controlled by hypothalamus, right? So, which nucleus is this? That is your dorsomedial. Okay, let me write stimulation of dorsomedial nucleus. Because of this stimulation of dorsomedial nucleus, because of a repetitive test coming and coming, you are getting very much angry. Why are they keeping like this test? Okay, so aggressive behavior. Aggressive behavior is also due to hypothalamus. Okay, so that is due to stimulation of dorsomedial nucleus. Okay, fine. Next, very important is when you are next very important function is when you are in a very hot environment. Okay, summer. Okay, so what really happens? If you go and walk itself, you get a sweating, right? That is regulation. So on the whole, I can write as regulation of body temperature. Body temperature. Now, if a person is on hot environment, if a person is on a hot environment, then so your brain knows, okay, you are in hot environment. Who is getting activated? That is your arcuate nucleus. So your arcuate nucleus is not arcuate, wait, not arcuate nucleus. Be careful. I am trying to be careful. It is not arcuate nucleus. When you are in hot environment, okay, which nucleus is stimulated means that is your anterior nucleus, right? Anterior nucleus. So you are in hot environment, so your anterior nucleus is stimulated. If it is stimulated, our body itself undergoes a changes, that is, it produces sweat that I discussed before, right? It also produces some condition where you want a lot of water, okay, that is called thirst, right? And also inside our body there will be vasodilation. That's it. Sweat, thirst and vasodilation. Now let us see a condition where you are under a cold environment. You are under cold environment. Okay. Now who will get stimulated in hypothalamus? That is your posterior nuclei. That is, this is anterior nucleus, hot environment. Here it is posterior nucleus. So your posterior nucleus is activated. Then what changes will it bring in our body? If you see, yes, tell me, you are in cold environment, you are in Antarctica or somewhere else. Okay, now you are in cold environment, then what changes will be there in your body? Yes, any idea? Yes, I am heard from you. Tell me. That is your vasoconstriction in our body. Okay. So apart from vasoconstriction, what will happen to our body? Yes. What is this? Shivering. Yes, shivering. Apart from this, you will always be in bathroom. That is why you are always in bathroom, because of increased urinary frequency. That's it. Vasoconstriction, shivering, urinary frequency. Increase urinary frequency. This is very important, right? So we discussed how many? 5 important functions of hypothalamus, right? Okay. Next very important function, I think this is 6th one. Okay. It produces a very important hormone, that is love hormone. What is this love hormone? Any idea? Yes, it is oxytocin, right? So synthesis of oxytocin as well as one more hormone, that is called as vasopressin. Okay, if it is vasopressin, so vasopressin releases what? ADH, antidiuretic hormone, right? How it is been how it is releasing? What nucleus is that? That is your supraoptic nucleus. That's it. What about oxytocin? So oxytocin also helps. It's a very important function of oxytocin is also parturition. Very important, parturition. And then this parturition, which nucleus? Any idea? PP. Parturition is P. The nucleus also will be in P. That is paraventricular nucleus. Very simple. Okay. So we saw about synthesis of oxytocin, also the vasopressin releasing ADH. Now these both hormones, vasopressin and oxytocin, they are stored. Where they are stored? These hormones are released. They must be stored somewhere. Where? In the hypothalamus, in a particular nucleus of hypothalamus, that is posterior pituitary. Okay, posterior pituitary, not nucleus. Okay, not in hypothalamus, but then posterior pituitary. Nucleus, they are helping in synthesis. Paraventricular nucleus, supraoptic nucleus for vasopressin and oxytocin. When these hormones are released, they are stored in the posterior pituitary. That's it. Understand? Fine. Next, very important is regulation of endocrine hormones. Endocrine hormone secretion. See, listen carefully. A very important diagram is there in a book. That is, in hypothalamus, they are going to produce something called as releasing hormones. Releasing hormones. For example, CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone. Apart from this corticotropin releasing hormone, they are going to act in anterior pituitary. They are going to act in anterior pituitary, and then they are going to release a very important hormone, that is ACTH. Fine. So we saw about releasing hormones like CRH. They are producing or release. They act on the anterior pituitary and they release ACTH. Fine. Apart from this, they also produce not only releasing hormones but also inhibitory hormones. These inhibitory hormones, what example can we say? That is the dopamine. They release dopamine in the anterior pituitary. Okay, they are released into the anterior pituitary. Now, if dopamine is secreting more and more, who is going to inhibit? That is the prolactin. This is very important. Prolactin is the one who is going to inhibit the dopamine. That's it. Understand? Very simple. Okay, fine. So we saw about the regulation of the endocrine hormones, right? Last but not least, last function is about a rhythm which is very important in sleep. That is circadian rhythm. Okay, that is your circadian rhythm. This circadian rhythm is going to help us to control our daily schedule, for sleep and wakefulness. Very important rhythm, circadian rhythm. Which nucleus is activated during this circadian rhythm? That is the very simple suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's it. We call it as SCN, suprachiasmatic nucleus in circadian rhythm, right? Fine. So this is all about the function of hypothalamus, right? So well, I think you have understood a bit. Go read in the book. it will be clear, right? Thank you. Have a nice day.